Hi, and welcome to Moonbeam Connections. I'm Jacqui-Leigh. Today on relationship frequencies, we're going to look at the relationship with your stepchild. This could also be your general relationship with your stepchildren if you have more than one. Also, if you have more than one. But this may only be on a particular one, whichever one, when I said we're going to look at your relationship with your stepchild, whichever one immediately popped into your head, that'll be who we're reading on today. So I do set the intention that these videos find those who need them when they need them. So if this video found you today, it doesn't mean it is meant for you. However, it may not be the entire reading is meant for you. It may just be a portion of the reading. So let's see, what is the energy between you and your stepchild currently? So we're going to look at the current energy. And there we go. But, oh, I don't take those reversed. Okay, so there's a lot of anxiety there. So the Nine of Swords, this is about having anxiety or guilt, despair, negativity, breaking point. And so right now I'd say the relationship between you and your stepchildren or you and this particular stepchild is not great right now. It doesn't look like it's, a battling relationship. It just looks like one or both of you is feeling some anxiety about this, maybe some guilt about it. It might be that you with the stepchild, you're like, oh, I'm not loving enough towards them, or, I've made these mistakes. There may be some despair in there between both of you. Maybe you both want a better relationship and you don't have it. Maybe one of you wants a better relationship and the other one really doesn't care. But definitely, currently, things aren't that great. So let's look at the past. Let's see your relationship with your stepchild in the past, please. Is this a new thing, or have we always had issues? These cards went flying more than one, but I will take this one that fell right in front. And okay, so in the past, things were actually good. They were better. It was, so it's the Page of Wands. So it was like, you were starting out with this enthusiastic relationship. You were exploring, your relationship, exploring each other, maybe, particularly you being the parent, like you were excited about this, happy for this. This was like a spark of, with the wands, I always say it's like that magic, right? Like your spark of magic, you're putting your magic on it. And so it was sort of this magical, exciting, enthusiastic, let's see where this goes, let's see what's going to happen. I want to do art with you. I want to take you to gymnastics class, it's kind of like, but this was the beginning. So the Page is kind of like at the beginning, right? We haven't gone through the Knight and the Queen and the King. So it's like the beginning of the relationship. So in the past, at the beginning, there was this excitement to it, this energetic energy behind it. This, this will be a good thing. This is, I want to work towards building this relationship. I want to work towards, being a good parent to you. And I'm sure they were working towards like, oh, I want this new parent to, love me or appreciate me or like me. But in the current energy, of course, we now got this anxiety. So let's see what the future holds. Let's see what the future holds for this relationship. And then we'll see where we can try and get some advice for repairing it. Okay, there we go. That one wants to come out for sure. Ooh, there we go. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. Whew, I was getting a little bit worried about what that outcome was going to be. So the Nine of Pentacles is about like success. It can also be about self-sufficiency. So it may just be that right now, like say this was as a child, they were a child at this point in time. And so this was this enthusiastic, we're going to hang out, we're going to be together, we're going to do things, this is fun. Now they're a teenager and we're getting into the, the hard part of it, where we're kind of clashing a bit, and neither of us feels this relationship's as good, and I'm sad because I don't think you really feel it like I'm your child, and you're sad because you want them to feel like they're your child, and you're not getting to that point where you do feel really bonded. There may be some constant battles because they're going out and doing things that you don't want them to do, and so but you got to be that parent, but yet you're not really the parent, and of course they'll throw that in your face when they have to, right? You're not my parent. You can't tell me what to do. And so we're sort of in this negative relationship. However, we can see that in the future, actually, this relationship ends up being successful. Right? And why I was going back to that to get to this again is this is the card of being independent or self-sufficient. So it may be that once your stepchild is out of your home and they're independent and they're self-sufficient, now all of a sudden, like we just couldn't live in the same house, right? Living in the same house, we're getting under each other's skin. I don't like you play your music too loud. You don't like that whatever, have friends over once a week, whatever it is. And so we just needed that separation. And so now that you're out on your own, you're an adult, you're independent, now we can come back together and have this successful, cohesive relationship, right? But it does look like the future is going to be successful. You're going to achieve what you want in terms of this relationship being better, being put back together. And so let's see how we're going to get to that point. So let's get some advice on how to currently improve this relationship. What currently could this parent do to improve the relationship with their stepchild? Let's see. And, ooh, a tower moment. Okay. So this is interesting that this would be improving your relationship. So tower moments are about like upheaval, everything coming crashing down, right? It can be very sudden, finding out a revelation. Like all of a sudden, you find out, like say, this is your stepchild and the relationship's really bad. And then you find out they're actually gay. And then when you and that's what they've been having all these problems with. But when you find out they're gay and you accept it, all of a sudden they're like, oh, that's not a big deal. So but that could be a tower moment. Right? It's because you were under these illusions, you didn't understand what was going on. Now suddenly, all of a sudden, everything comes crashing down in terms of what you thought of them. Like you used to be like, oh, you like that girl, oh, you like that boy, not realizing they were actually gay. And every time you did that, that kind of stabbed them a little bit because they're like, I don't like them. I like that boy over there. I like that girl over there. I don't like that person over there. And so, but now that they've sort of, all of a sudden you have this sudden moment of them coming out of the closet and being like, I know you hate me, you will hate me if you know I'm gay, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, come crashing down. Everything I thought I knew about them, not everything, sorry, this one piece of information I thought I knew about them was wrong, comes crashing down. I am now being released to realize that this is the reality of the situation, and I can now function from this reality, and we can make things better. So, but there is a moment, and this moment could even be them getting kicked out of the house, right? More independent, coming back together. So it could be that you finally decide, you know what, you're 18, 19, 20, you're not going to respect me, or you're creating these issues within the home, or whatever it is, so I'm going to kick you out. And once I kick you out, we have this tower moment, but that allows us to get that space to sort of, get our independence independently, and then we can start, work on ourselves, and at that point, then we can come back together. So the advice is there needs to be a tower moment, and this tower moment could even be like a heart-to-heart, super frank discussion, right, where you just lay it all on the table, and you allow to hear them say, like, well, you're not as good as my mom or my dad, or I wish you were never here. And yeah, that can be very stabby in the heart. But at the same time, once you're able to talk through everything and clear the air, now all of a sudden you can move forward in a better relationship. So let's see what other advice besides just having a tower moment. But it does sound like there's something major that has to change. I would take this as something major needs to change. So maybe they need to go live with their other biological parent for a little bit. Maybe they need to not see the other biological parent for a moment. Like that could be too what's causing issues. Oh, and justice. Yeah. See, so justice is about getting what you deserve, right? So it's about truth and about fairness and being accountable. So those who do bad get bad. Those who do good get good, right? As you do, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you will get the rewards that you're supposed to get. You do things you're not supposed to be doing, you're going to be getting the consequences that you deserve. And so I would say that what this is all saying is there's going to be there will need to be some kind of tower moment. Something major is going to change within your relationship, within your dynamics, within your living dynamics, but it is going to be justice, right? As long as you are being fair and doing things honestly and upright, then in the end things will work out. So this isn't like I am going to say kick you out on the street when you have absolutely nowhere to go and I'm just being ridiculous. Instead, and so we get a negative outcome. Instead, I'm going to tell you, you have 1 month and I'm going to work with you to find a place, right? So that we end up with these good consequences. I don't know if that's the best example, but what I would say with this justice card in particular being here is kids can drive you insane, but you need to be the upstanding person in every situation, irregardless of what they do, and you will get in the end what you deserve from doing that in terms of ending up with a better relationship with them. So just make sure you're not, picking on them and being like, well, you're just a horrible person, look at you, because that's going to bring those negative consequences, right? It needs to be in a loving way. I really love you, but these situations, this circumstance is not acceptable. I really love you, but this is only making our relationship worse, so we're going to start doing things this way. So just make sure, and we got 2 major arcanas for that too, for your advice. So the advice is there will be a tower moment. Something's coming to a head. Something needs to be said. We can't just go along, whatever's happening here, and just keep going along with it. Something has to happen. But if we do this in the proper way and we do it out of love, then we will end up with the good consequences and end up in the Nine of Pentacles. So this could be that somebody is has mental health issues and you're seeing them. They're under depression, may not even really be anything to do with you, right? And your relationship, but your relationship's suffering from it. And they have depression and they have anxiety. And, and you're like, you need to go get help. You need to go to therapy. You need to maybe check yourself into a mental hospital for a bit and get stabilized. And of course, they don't want it. They don't want it. They don't want it. No, no, no. I don't want to go in the hospital. I don't want to talk to some doctor about my problems. Like they wouldn't understand anyways. And that you finally have to realize that, no, this is what that person needs, and I'm just calling whoever that's going to come, the mental health people, and they're going to come and they're going to take you away for an assessment. And yeah, that's a tower moment, and yeah, you're going to hate me for that, but that is what needs to happen. And in the end, maybe a few years from now, they're going to realize that I did this out of love, I did this because I care so much, and that we're going to come back together and have this good relationship that we both really wanted at the start, right? This was we are starting on a new adventure together. This is this passion. We're going to make this work. This is going to be a wonderful relationship. Now we've hit some roadblocks. We got to deal with that, but we can come back together in this loving, meaningful way. And so we're definitely going to get you a message for this one today. I think even an angel number. I feel like an angel number is appropriate. But I would say, you started with this Page of Wands in this relationship, so it's not like the relationship started out bad, and it's not like the relationship's ending up bad. It's just we're hitting this roadblock, and that's what happens, especially if you came into this child's life as they were a child, and now they're sort of in that teenage hard years where they hate anyone anyways, regardless if you're a step-parent or not. And we just need to deal with it and get through it, and we will come back together and have a better relationship in the end. So let's see what message wants to come out of this deck, please, for our, what would you say, our reading on our stepchild. Oh, there we go. There it is. And we have, remember that it's okay to be happy. It really is. Okay, that's an interesting one to come out of of this. But maybe there's been some despair on your part because things aren't going right with them, and they're saying, you know, like, just because you're having this issue with this relationship, it's still okay to be happy. Don't worry about it. Maybe it's you having to remind them, like, yeah, things suck because this happened and this happened, but, you know, like, just because, you know, you lost your other parent, or like passed away, or you grandparent passed away, like, you're still allowed to be happy. You're still allowed to be okay. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be sad about that. You're allowed to wish that was different. You're allowed to grieve that that person is no longer in your life, but you're also allowed to be happy. They don't want you to spend the rest of your life just grieving and now your life is miserable, right? If you passed away, you'd want them to continue and be happy and not ruin their whole life for because of your passing on. So that hopefully that you understand how that applies a little bit better, because I am a little confused about that, but everybody's situation is different, and hopefully you can see how that would apply to you. Like, maybe you are going through something where you have, you know, put your stepchild into jail, or put your stepchild into a mental hospital, or put your stepchild into their other parent's home, and now you feel like, I'm such a bad person, I can't be happy, I can't enjoy things. Look what's happening with my stepchild. But they're saying it's okay to still, like, enjoy things, still be happy, it's still all right. And I think we need an angel number for sure now. Okay, we're going to get you an angel number, and then we'll wrap up the reading. But I would say, like, although currently things aren't great and there's going to be some kind of tower moment, we'll have to see what that is. You can leave a comment about what your tower moment ended up being. But even though we hit this hiccup, and this is, you know what, you can look at this as any parent-child relationship. This is not just a stepchild relationship. This is, my child's born and I'm going to, you know, read to them every night, and I'm going to help them with their homework every day, and we're, you know, going to have all these adventures together. Now they're a teenager and they're causing me stress and they didn't listen to me, and look at all these problems. And now we've gone through all that and we're coming together in this adult relationship where, you know, we show mutual respect and love each other. Let's see. Angel number, please, as a message for those step parents out there wondering about their stepchild. And I do actually have 2 stepchildren myself, so I understand the ups and downs of having stepchildren. And my children's mother is actually still around, so that, you know, creates different dynamics. And I have a sister who has stepchildren whose mother has passed away, and so I've seen both, how those dynamics sort of both play out when the other parent is still in the child's life, and when the other parent is absent from the child's life for whatever reason. Wow, and Spirit is not popping out a card, so I guess they wanted me to finish that thought. Let's see, please. 1 card. Angel number, please, for this reading. Oh. And, finally, release, release, release. Okay, so this is number 876. And it's called release. So let go of old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve your highest good. Embrace freedom in your life. All right, so what pattern do you need to release, or the old beliefs? So, and this is in terms of your relationship with your child. So maybe it's a pattern, you know, whatever. It's a pattern of, you know, every day has to be structured this way, this way, this way, this way. And they're saying, look, I want to break from this complete structure. So maybe we have to stop that complete structure, let go of that pattern, let go of this having to be like this, and allow for more freedom. Or maybe it's as soon as my stepchild says something negative, I get my back up against the wall and I feel like I'm being attacked. And so then I start going negative. Well, I'm going to release that old pattern. If they go negative, I'm going to go more positive. You know, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm so sad that you feel that way, because I am happy, I love you, I want us, you know, to be close, whatever it is. But just release all those patterns and those beliefs. Like the belief that if my relationship isn't perfect with my stepchild, I've failed as a step parent. Or if my stepchild doesn't, you know, turn out perfectly happy and content, that means I'm a complete utter failure, whatever these beliefs are. But there's beliefs and there's patterns that have built up in this relationship that need to be released. So it might be, we had these patterns and these beliefs while they were a child, right? And this worked because they were a child, but I'm still trying to apply those old patterns, those beliefs, those assumptions onto this person now who's now a teenager or who's now a young adult, and that doesn't work anymore. I can't do that same thing. I can't say, hey, let's just go out for ice cream and then everything's better, right? If we get into a fight, we go out for ice cream, everything's good. That doesn't work anymore. So now if we have an argument, we need to sit down and talk it through. Or we need to still go out for ice cream, but we actually have to have a discussion. It's not ice cream just makes it all better. So whatever old patterns you had within this relationship, whatever beliefs about this relationship you're hanging on to, you need to start releasing those and start kind of changing the dynamics a bit. But just don't worry. And especially if you're about to come up to this tower moment, or you're about to cause it, you're about to kick them out of your house and you're like, man, I just don't know, this is not going to be good, they're never going to talk to me again. Realize that they will, as long as you're doing it from love, not from hatefulness, not from being mean. You're doing it out of love. Eventually it will be successful. Eventually this will lead to a better situation between you and your stepchild, and you'll get back to this excitement and this energy of starting something new and being excited and seeing where it goes. And when you're like, oh, everything's going to work out, it's going to be perfect, and then you get into the reality of life and it's not as perfect, not as great as you were hoping it was going to be. Well, I hope this message helped you. I just saw 2121. Just as I was saying, I hope this message helped you. So I hope this message did help you. I'm sending you peace, love, and happiness. Bye for now.